Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast channel, Center of Excellence, Pharma 4. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss vision to reality, implementing successful Pharma 4. How should be our roadmap? My name is Jayan Joshi. I'm having more than 45 years of industry experience, and my passion is for adoption of emerging technologies to achieve business excellence, mainly in pharma and regulatory industry. We have a YouTube channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4, where there are more than 200 videos are there focusing on emerging technologies, digital transformation, and Pharma 4. We have also launched a course, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, on Udemy platform. And recently, we have launched a podcast channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. So, in today's episode, I'm going to discuss about vision to reality. So, today, all pharma companies are looking out for moving from traditional analog legacy system to digital system by adopting emerging technologies, digital transformation, and supporting Pharma 4 requirement. This is always a challenging long-term plan. So let's see how we can cover up those things. The first and most important thing is organization has to start understanding Pharma 4. As this concept of Industry 4, Pharma 4 has come up recently, the application to the industry principles is very challenging. This requires a focus on digitization, automation, and real-time data analysis. What are the benefits of adoption to Pharma 4? This improves product quality and patient safety, enhances operational efficiency and productivity, increases innovation and competitiveness, and simplifies regulatory compliances. What are the key elements for Pharma 4 roadmap? The first one is digital maturity assessment. Second is implementation of advanced technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotics, blockchain, and many more. Data integrity and security measures plays an important role when we are moving to Pharma 4. This also requires a workforce upskilling and cultural transformation. What are the stages of implementation? First is the computerization and connectivity. We are looking out for integrating all operations with a seamless data sharing, covering from the demand planning to supply planning, execution, and patient collection. Visibility and transparency is more important to focus it out to have this seamless integration. And predictive capacity and adaptability helps in improving the processes, technology, and achieve business excellence. Now, what are the challenges and implementation? Integration from legacy systems to upgrade from old legacy systems to the new digital system, from analog systems to digital systems is the most important challenge. Second is the pharma industry has got a lot of regulatory requirement and supporting all those compliances when you are moving from legacy systems to digital system is an important challenge. And finally, it's a people-driven system. So the human has to really get familiar, and then the change management and cultural resistance has to be taken care. So what is the future outlook for such Pharma 4 or Pharma digital supply chain management solution? This has got emerging trends are to be used to convert from manual systems to smart manufacturing systems. And this has got a long-term impact onto the pharma industry to move to Pharma 4. So this emphasizes the importance of holistic approach, as I mentioned earlier also. It's a people, processes, and technology. All three have to work together to achieve Pharma 4 technology and principles implemented, which evolves businesses, information technology, and manufacturing. All stakeholders have to work together to build up a strong product life cycle which matches to the new technologies and helps to improve the processes, optimizes them, and reduces the resources consumption, develops a productivity, reduces the cost, improves the profitability. So a lot of those benefits are there. So there is an importance of having this holistic approach and a complete change management to move to the pharma form. So what are the key challenges? I just mentioned some overviews about the challenges. The first one is about the regulatory compliances. The pharma industry is governed by a lot of regulatory requirements like CGMP, good manufacturing practices, good distribution practices, 21 CFR Part 11 and all. So ensuring all those requirements to be satisfied while moving to the digital transformation or the pharma 4 is the first and important challenge. Secondly, the data privacy and security. Data is getting generated at across all operation. When I talk about complete digital supply chain management, it is all materials, manufacturing, quality, processes, distribution, all are generating the data, and then that data is to be securely stored while complying this regulatory scrutiny in the environment increases this data generation and data movement, data storage, data analysis, data sharing. All those requires to be very properly planned and to be managed. The third important challenge is integration with the legacy system. As you know, earlier we had all the legacy systems into the various silos based on to the departments and all. And it is not having access to the other department or sharing to only to a certain extent what's possible and all. While we are moving to the modern digital technologies, we require a careful planning at infrastructure level, hardware, software, data transformation, and the users who are going to use the data, their proper training of compiling the data, uploading the data, sharing the data with all security protocols is to be ensured. And this is a important challenge when we are moving from legacy system to digital systems and all. Another challenge is the talent acquisition and retention. As we see that there are many more new business concepts, new technologies, new infrastructure, new software. Everything is coming up and all, which includes cloud, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, blockchains, and all that. You need to develop adoption of these skills, and finally use those skills into data driven decision making, which is the important challenge. And this is what tremendous opportunities. So there is a lot of movements into the talents also. So training the skills, retaining them is a very important challenge. The fifth challenge is significant investment is required in implementing Pharma 4 technologies. As we discussed earlier also, we require a new hardware, new software, train the people and generate them to the skill required to monitor this, face these challenges and all. Is a very important thing and that requires a huge investment. And this is a more challenging mainly to the smaller companies or mid-sized companies actually. The sixth challenge is the cultural reasons to change. As we say, most of the companies are working with the old systems for years together. So there is always a resistance from the employees to shift to the new technology, new systems, new procedures, and business process re-engineering is also required. So fostering this culture to the new digital transformation is a very important area. Another challenge is complexity in implementation. As the processes are changing, customer requirements, market requirements, everything is changing. So there is a demand planning, there is a supply planning with manufacturing and distribution. The businesses are becoming more and more complex with increasing regulatory requirement. So the complexities of the businesses are also changing, and that requires a lot of efforts when we are moving from legacy analog systems to the digital transformation systems. There are technology challenges also there. As we mentioned earlier, that many companies are still working onto data silos. Adopting these different technologies, legacy systems integration, and new advanced infrastructure like cloud, IoT, blockchain are coming up and all. These technologies are also changing very fast. So adopting these technologies is challenging. And finally, when it comes to top management for a decision making, we have to measure the ROI, that is the return on investment. Because when we have to look forward the huge investment required for this transformation, it should justify the investment which is really required for such Pharma 4 initiatives. The Pharma 4 companies can measure all this success from the Pharma 4 initiative, and this is where are really thinking about it from vision to the reality. I'm trying to discuss what should be our roadmap for this actually. Now we should focus on to some of the key areas where we can really monitor, from the ROI point of view, tangible and intangible benefits and all. So some of those factors I am going to discuss it over here. The first one is of course operational efficiency. It's reduction in manufacturing cycle times, basically order to delivery, as the systems are expecting the demand to be fulfilled into a shortest possible time. It could be a market demand, it could be a patient's requirements or something like that. So then from order to delivery cycle, that is basically from order that comes to a demand planning, and based on to that sales and operation plan, and then that goes to material requirement planning, on the supply planning, and then procurement and the quality, then analysis, then issues to the production, manufacturing operations, and optimization of the manufacturing resources, and finally the testing, warehouse, transportation, and logistics. That's the complete cycle is to be monitored, and that requires improving the operational efficiencies. And we many a times calculate that what is the overall equipment effectiveness actually, OEE, that needs to be monitored because manufacturing plays a very important role into that. So decreasing the production costs by operating all these seamless thing can develop a quicker manufacturing cycle time and completion and execution, which builds up a more satisfaction with the patients also. Second is quality improvement. The reduction into the quality deviation by adopting the new technologies like IoT sensors, capturing and robotic process automation, where this repetitive tasks are there, then that can improve the quality and then that gives an effect onto less product recalls, no, because of the quality issues or something like that. And that builds up a culture right at the first time. So when you try to do everything correctly in the very beginning, there are less reprocesses and that improves the product quality and reduces the production cost also. Enhances the batch consistency and that improves the quality. The third is the regulatory compliances. The faster regulatory approvals, process automations to capture and store the data which is available more quickly and all helps into the better decision making. Also satisfies. We have done many implementations into quality management systems, and our observation is that when a good technology based system is implemented, there is a possibility that performance of the operators or the people or the skills with a good training can improve their productivity by 25 to 30%. And that is what is the time reduction is also available. So that your material testing process becomes easy. And not only that, but the possibility of the data entry by human is also reduced because there is a reduction in the compliances and then that data goes directly into the system which is more authentic, more accurate and all that. This improves the audit outcome also and digital systems validation is also easily possible. The fourth benefit is data integrity and visibility. As we have seen, the IoT based sensors can capture the data directly from the lab instruments or maybe from the operating machines, equipments, and all that. This improves the data integrity and visibility. And then there are less errors into data capture and improves the traceability across the supply chain visibility due to better visibility. Then, as I mentioned earlier, the time to market, is also gets accelerated and new product launch, or it could be the reduction into order to delivery cycle time and all that. That really becomes much easier and then improve the plant efficiency into that. And then this finally gets reflected onto supply chain performance. So improved inventory management lowers the inventory cost, faster turnover ratio, and then finally that reduction in the cash flow also in the fund requirement. This enhances the demand forecasting accuracy because there is a more data getting interactive in a better way from demand side, supply side, and manufacturing side. And that improves the better sales and operation planning leads to improving the supply planning. The reduction into supply chain disruption, basically the availability of materials, availability of machines, availability of manpower, skills and all that, that also improves it. So a lot of those benefits are there. Employee productivity also goes up basically because they are more trained onto adoption of this new technology. They are familiar and how this data-driven decision making can improve with the adoption of these various resources to the best extent and all that. And reduction into manual data entry, these skills have more time to look at it, data analysis and take a better correct decision. And this is happens in the improving the return on investment. So quantifiable cost savings are available from this Pharma 4 initiatives, which improves the sales and operation and supply chain planning. And then that can lead to revenue growth for with the digital transformation. This further leads to digital maturity. As we discussed earlier, this is a long term process and takes a lot of complexities and challenges and all that. But this progress, as we go on moving up, develops a more maturity, and then that computerization adaptability will improve the decision making and as brings up many more benefits. So thus by tracking up all these matrices or the points or the factors which I discussed during this thing can lead to Pharma 4 initiatives and further improvements and all that. Now companies have to balance the cost of implementation vis-a-vis the potential tangible and intangible benefits. As I mentioned earlier, this process requires a huge amount of investment also. But looking at it, the a number of benefits, tangible, intangible benefits are also there. So how we should really move ahead, from which our vision to reality or vision to achievements and all that. We can do this in a phased manner. So phased implementation is always suggested, recommended, and all that. So you should start with a gradual step-by-step approach onto a small area or small challenge, and do this with one digital tool at a time. And then once that is given a good confidence, good results, then we can go on extending it with more benefits, more additional resources, more costs, more investments and all that. And then that will go realizing the incremental benefits and all. Now, how we should prioritize? So wherever we feel that there is a high impact or there may be impact which can be immediately seen or the benefits which can be immediately seen, it could be into the reduction in the cycle time or better patient's satisfaction or reaching the order to delivery time in time or reduction in quality rejections or something. So we have to identify the specific pain points and all that, and then do that adoption with that potential and see that operational efficiency in cost reduction. One more thing which I thought I will share with you is we have to really think about new emerging technologies that's coming up, and one which I think is a very prominent is a cloud technology. Earlier, we used to have a lot of investment into infrastructure and all. Is the cloud technologies coming up, cloud-based platforms are available, and then they can reduce the upfront infrastructure costs, and then enable scalable solutions are available. It's not necessary that you have to do a huge investment into infrastructure for data storage, data handling, and all that. But you can start with a small application, use that cloud with a minimum requirement, and then go on scaling up as you move further onto this. Another thing is that build up a strategic partnerships. We have to collaborate with technology providers. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, lot of new technologies coming up. So there are the cloud, there is artificial intelligence, there are IoT, there are blockchains, and all. So you can either partner with those technology providers who are specialized into those areas, and also the academic institutes who train up those skills onto these various technologies and use them in a such a way that you get access to the expertise also with a minimum investments onto that, and then that is how you can reduce the capital expenses and all. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you can start with a pilot projects and then go on moving up onto building up a full scale implementation. Optimizing this existing system is also an important function. Many a times, as we see, we are using with the old technologies, old systems, and all that. but we can adopt to business process re-engineering, where you can modify those processes to suit to the new digital technologies and change from legacy or dialogue analog systems to with a minimum disruptions to this overall thing. Focus always on to a long-term thing, actually, because as I mentioned, these are all long-term projects running maybe 3 to 5 years or something like that. But those long-term benefits of improved quality, compliances, and productivity and cost reductions and all is a long-term thing which you should keep it in mind. You have to do a continuous evaluation. You cannot really stop at after a particular stage because the changes do take time to get implemented. It is again, as I mentioned earlier, it's a holistic thing. It's a people, processes, and technology that goes on changing. So the strategies has to work accordingly and all that. So by carefully balancing all those things, with the strategies, you can reduce the risk about the financial investments and all that, and see the uh, better results and move very fastly and all that. So I just gave you an overview, an idea about from vision to reality, how you can achieve those benefits. Many more videos are already there onto our YouTube channel. Please do look at it, share your thoughts, subscribe them, share with your friend circles, network, and all that. Similarly, training course is also there. How we can move into the more details about the smart manufacturing into pharma on Udemy platform. Do visit that course also. And we are covering more chapters, more episodes into this podcast. Please feel free to suggest what are your challenges which you feel and where we can probably help you or share our thought process or based on to our last 45 years of experience into the industry, we can definitely help you to achieve better results faster and quicker. So thank you. Bye.